You already know something is wrong. You feel it? Not in a dramatic way, just quietly. Like a weight you've been carrying so long you forgot it was there. You scroll, you wait, you tell yourself tomorrow. And tomorrow comes, and you scroll again. This video is going to say something to you that most people spend 40 years learning the hard way. Stay with me. Let's start with something nobody wants to admit. Most of the time you lose in a day, you don't lose it to big failures. You lose it to small surrenders. The extra hour in bed, the mindless scroll, the I'll start Monday, the I'm not ready yet. These aren't harmless habits. They are the architecture of a life that never quite becomes what you imagined. And the terrifying part, they feel comfortable. That's how they win. Think about the last time you truly felt alive. Not entertained, not distracted, alive. Focused, moving toward something real. For most people, that feeling is rare, and it shouldn't be. It should be your default. But somewhere between the notifications and the noise, between the comparisons and the comfort, you drifted. And drifting doesn't feel like losing. That's the danger. It just feels like waiting. Here is the first brutal truth. No feeling is coming to save you. Not inspiration. Not motivation. Not the right moment. You have been waiting for a feeling that will make action feel easy. But that feeling is a lie. Every person who built something real, every person who transformed their body, their mind, their life, they did it without that feeling. They did it scared. They did it tired. They did it when everything in them said, wait. Motivation is a visitor. It comes and goes. What keeps you moving when it leaves is something quieter, something harder. It's the decision you make in the morning when no one is watching, the page you write, the workout you show up for, the plan you return to after you break it. That is the real engine, not the feeling, the decision. And here's what nobody tells you about discipline. It doesn't feel like power at first. It feels like loss, like giving something up, like saying no when you want to say yes, like waking up when your body begs for more sleep. But every time you do it anyway, something shifts, slowly, quietly. You stop needing the feeling. You become someone who acts regardless. And that transformation, that is when life starts to change. Not because the world changed, because you did. Now let's talk about what you do every single day. Because the gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't a talent gap. It isn't a luck gap. It is a daily habits gap. What are you actually doing with your hours? Not your intentions. Your hours. Because your hours are your life. Every day you spend scrolling instead of studying. Every hour you spend comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 40. Every moment you spend rehearsing your excuses instead of taking the next step. You are building a future. Just not the one you want. You're not behind. But you are asleep. And this is your alarm. The young person who feels like everyone else is ahead of them. The student who opens their phone instead of their book, not because they don't care, but because the distraction is easier than the discomfort of focus. The person who has watched 100 videos like this one, felt the fire for an hour, and then let it fade. I'm not judging you. I've been that person. But I need you to hear this. Feeling inspired is not the same as changing. Information without action is just entertainment, and you cannot afford to be entertained by your own potential anymore. Here is what nobody tells you about consistency. It's not about being perfect. It's about returning every single time. You miss a day, you return. You break the streak, you return. You fall apart, you return. The people who win are not the people who never fall. They are the people who refuse to stay down. Consistency isn't intensity. You don't need to burn yourself out chasing massive effort. You need to show up again and again in small ways until those small ways become who you are. 1 page, 10 minutes, one decision better than yesterday. That's it. That is the whole game. And now let's talk about the people around you. Because this one will cost you if you ignore it. You are absorbing the people closest to you, their energy, their beliefs, their ceiling. If everyone around you is comfortable being average, comfortable with excuses, comfortable with the scroll and the drift, you will drift with them. Not because you're weak, because that's how environment works. The water always finds its level, so you need to ask yourself, honestly, is your environment raising you or reducing you? Are the voices around you pushing you forward or giving you permission to stay still? This is not about cutting people off. It is about choosing what you absorb. Protect your mind the way you protect your time, because both are running out. Now stop for 1 second. Just stop. How much of your life do you spend inside your own head, overthinking the plan instead of working it, waiting for perfect conditions that never arrive? Perfect timing is a myth people tell themselves, so they don't have to feel the fear of starting. The fear is always there. It doesn't go away when you're ready. It goes away when you move. When you take the first messy, imperfect, uncomfortable step, and then the next. And then the one after that. You will not figure it out before you start. You will figure it out by starting. This is what 40 years of real life looks like compressed into truth. Your health is the foundation. Without it, nothing else holds. Your habits are the builders. Without better ones, nothing changes. Your daily choices are the vote you cast for the person you're becoming. And here is the hardest truth of all. You already know what you need to do. You don't need more information. You need more honesty. Honesty with yourself about where your time is going, about what you are avoiding, about who you are when no one is watching. Because that person, the person you are in private, that is the real you. And you can either be honest about them and change, or you can keep performing growth while standing still. The life you want is not hiding. It is not locked behind some secret formula or perfect circumstances. It is sitting on the other side of your daily decision to show up. That is it. That is the whole secret. Show up. Do the work. Return when you fail. Choose the harder thing. Build the person who deserves the life you want. You are not too late. But you are not as early as you think. So stop waiting for tomorrow. Stop waiting for the feeling. Stop waiting for permission. Your life does not wait, and neither should you. Start now, right now, not after this video, now. Because in 10 years, you will either look back at this moment as the turning point, or you will still be waiting. And only one of those is a choice you can make today. Choose.